to the show.
We make music. We crank up the amps and we have a good time. That's rock and roll.
We were just four bums on the streets of New York who were trying to figure out not to walk, talk, and act like everybody else, because in New York City, when you've got millions of people walking past each other, they almost look like automatons, like zombies. And, you know, these poor people are just sort of going, they're just trying to survive, pay their bills, and just get by the day without all the traffic noise and the pressures of life and so on. And none of it appealed to us because the individual didn't seem important. Just millions of people dressed the same way in suits and ties, and there had to be a better way.
Peter Criss was very depressed about, well, things aren't going so well. This was only after 4 months of rehearsal, and we were putting on one of our first concerts in New York City, a hall that we rented. We advertised for it and everything. So I rented a limousine, and we went to this place with girlfriends, equipment, everything in this stretch. It was like a stretch
Mercedes.
Yeah,
it was
with
amazing.
everything in there. Went up to this sleazy prostitute hotel on 43rd and 6th in New York City. You get out and bums are there, but we came in style.
That's right.
Go up to the second floor of this like sleazebag hotel, play our hearts out. You know, it was a great way to start. One of the first shows we ever did, limousines.
We always thought of ourselves as a band playing an arena or a stadium. You know, bands try to do that nowadays, which is real nice, but I think it's definitely the right attitude. I mean, when we started off, we were a band that never played clubs. In our minds, we were always playing, we were always headlining, and we were always at Madison Square Garden.
When we started out, you know, it was Alice Cooper was wearing makeup, the New York Dolls were wearing makeup, but limited makeup. We wanted to take it a step further, and we wanted to put on a much bigger theatrical show. And, you know, our show, you know, after you left the Kiss show, you were kind of like, either hated us or you were addicted to the visuals, you know, and the music. So.
When we first came out, we were like Martians. And we had to put up with a lot of crap from people who couldn't get past what we looked like.
Kiss logo became fairly well known.
Yeah.
At the time, there was also a bit of controversy about it. Actually, not maybe at the time, but maybe later.
In Germany, we had to change all the albums to round S's instead of the lightning bolt S's.
What did you think about that?
As long as they bought the records, I didn't care. Yeah. I mean, it was a law. They had to change it, you know. I mean, when I designed the logo, I wasn't really thinking about the Nazi. I was thinking more of lightning bolts because, you know, that's my character. You know, I always had lightning bolts on my boots and shirts and whatnot.
Didn't you ever think about changing the logo?
No. I think it looks too good.
When we wrote Rock and Roll All Night, we were stuck in Los Angeles. We didn't have enough money. Basically, what we were doing is we couldn't get to the next gig. We had no money to pay the hotel. We were eating the crust of bread off the roadies' plates, I swear, because we had to pay them so they wouldn't quit, but we had no money. Anyway, so we wrote the song Rock and Roll All Night, basically to kind of put in a nutshell what our fans were all about and what we're all about.
The hottest band in the world, Kiss!
About the life that you've been leading since the old days when you played with the Brats in that club in New York. I mean, that was like so many moons ago. Are you happy with the way things have gone for you?
Smiling.
Is it still?
You know, some people think there's something to complain about when you reach this kind of success. I mean, we were lucky enough to have a dream that we saw come true, so we have no complaints. We're having a great time. At this point, we don't do this because we have to do this. We do this because we love doing it.
In our early days, we were really like one for all and all for one, and then when we got really rich and famous and powerful, everybody got on a big ego trip, and we forgot about the good, you know, the hard times.
People don't realize it. They think that you can tour forever. We've toured for right under 2,000 cities. We've been around for 10 years, and in 1980 or so, we decided we wanted a break. And this was after a European tour and an Australian tour, and we decided we wanted a break. So we stayed in New York. They sound like our fans. We stayed in New York for a while and did sort of normal things like stay out all night and go to clubs and have lots of girls and that sort of thing.
We had so many people talking in our ears and saying, oh, you know, you're better than these guys, and you could do it, and you should go on your own. And you start listening to all this crap, and then you just forget how much you really love these guys and how much you really would go out for them, and you respect them, and then you start losing all that, and then it's all washed away, and then one day you're sorry for it. And it's true, you really don't know what you got till you lose it.
Do you regret leaving Kiss?
So I did. In the early days, I regretted it because I said, Jesus, I walked away from the biggest band in the world. I must have been crazy, but I don't now, because I think if I would have stayed, I would have died. They would have sooner or later found me in a hotel overdosed or something, because I was very heavy into cocaine at the time.
Where you don't know what you're after, or if something's after you, and you don't know why you don't know.
The Elder album wasn't really a good album for me, and I wasn't happy with that album.
A world without heroes is like a bird without wings, or a bell that never rings, just a sad and useless thing.
At that time, we had just signed a $10 million record contract, so, you know, I wasn't about to leave the group that year. Yeah. But eventually, you know, through a course of events, I decided it was time to go. Yeah. I had so much money in the bank when I left Kiss. I really wasn't thinking about money, you know. I was just thinking about being happy and survival. I knew if I stayed in the band, I would have self-destructed, because I was self-destructing, you know. I was getting drunk and driving,
100 miles an hour
and having car accidents, you know, and it was basically a sign to me that, hey, I'm not happy doing this. I'm not happy putting the makeup on anymore. I'm not happy working with these guys. I can't deal with their egos and all the other bullshit that goes with it. 10 years with a group is kind of, that's a long time. You know, most marriages don't last that long. So, you know, I felt it was time for me to leave. And I quit. I wasn't fired. Let's get that straight.
Did you ever yearn for the day when you just, you know, scrub off the makeup and you get up there as a band without
I don't
the
think
facade?
so. I mean, why? You know, you can almost ask the same thing of Superman. I mean, why doesn't he take off that outfit and just sort of come out and do the things? Because it wouldn't be Superman. Kiss is Kiss because of all the special things that we do, that we choose to do. We don't have to do it. We make our own rules, and we like this. This is, you know, how you dress is how you feel, and on stage we don't feel like other bands. We feel, you know, we feel 7 feet tall.
Be true to what we believe in, because that's basically what Kiss is all about, is doing what we think is right. And when it didn't feel like we should be wearing the makeup anymore, we took it off. reach the point after 10 years where you just want to keep going forward. And people don't keep the same hairstyles, and when you change different things, it doesn't mean that you change who you are. You just change things to be more comfortable and to keep the same level of enthusiasm and energy. Some people thought basically this was four Bozo the Clowns with a bunch of guitars. And I knew all along, we knew that we were basically a classic rock and roll band, and everything we did was always an addition to what music was doing. You know, we never did it in place of the music. So when we felt that we weren't going to be honest anymore by wearing the makeup, it was time to take it off.
Don't need to wait for an invitation. You gotta live like your own vacation.
Some people said, well, you know, didn't you realize if you took off the makeup you were taking a big risk? Well, I don't think we wanted to continue looking the way we looked anymore. It was time for a change, and, you know, no guts, no glory. When we first started the band, when we did the first photo session, the record company was saying, well, don't you guys want to shoot the cover without makeup? And obviously there's a risk in everything you do, but we're pretty good judges of what we should be doing, and it seems like we made the right decision. If we had nothing more to offer except platform boots and makeup, then we weren't much of a band. So we felt it was honest to say, hey, this isn't us anymore, and if you don't like what we're about, we understand it, and it's been great.
But because theatrics have always been such a big part of the group's presentation, did you find it sort of hard toning down a bit? Obviously, you're not going to act the same way.
We haven't toned down. No, we haven't toned down. If anything, I think it's more frenzied, it's more exciting. The band is stronger than it's ever been, and we're going out now with like a whole new feeling, a whole new urge to kill, you know, on stage, and we do.
All the fans are telling us that the show's never been better, that it's really the best we've been. So the idea in taking the makeup wasn't to tone anything down, it was to give it more life.
He was the guitar player that was in the band for one album and one tour, and he did something very unethical. And despite the fact that he could write songs and play guitar and all that stuff, he was like, oh, we decided, you know, we just can't work together. This is a talented guy who is probably his own worst enemy.
Mark St. John, who was a replacement guitarist for Ace, originally left. However, it was because he developed writer's syndrome, which is sort of an arthritic thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it was amazing what happened to his hand. It really looked like the Goodyear blimp. You know, I mean, his fingers were huge, and he couldn't move his fingers.
Just what an amazing thing to happen to a guitarist.
That's terrible. I think he's okay now.
Right.
But, you know, you really can't sit around and wait a year and a half or 2 years for somebody to get better, especially when you don't have any guarantees that they're going to get better.
The last album was recorded at Electric Ladyland Studios, and I remember Gene saying that what you basically did was you moved in, right, and you brought in friends, and you brought in pizzas. And
it was pretty interesting, because basically it became like a bunker. Not like Archie Bunker, folks. Bunker as in the word.
You had sandbags at the door.
That's right. And it was great because all our friends came in and kept us company, and we had a trainer come in to work us out, and we had women coming in and people coming in and giving us the last rites, all kinds of stuff. And when we came out, you know, we were like that, but we had a good album, you know. No time, no clocks, nothing. Just rocking and rolling. I've known Bruce for 10 years, so I don't see Bruce ever leaving.
I was asked to actually fill in for an alien guitar player, Mark St. John, and he didn't get well quick enough, and I seemed to fit really well and did the job perfectly, including this fly that likes me.
You and Gene managed to survive all the changes. Why? Is that because you are essentially the core of the band?
I didn't say that. I think it's maybe because we have a direction and we're focused enough to know what we want to do. And KISS is more like, I guess, a belief, and like an army. If somebody falls by the wayside or somebody deserts, somebody else picks up the gun and you keep going. Classic rock bands usually have to have at least two people who work in a way where the dynamics are balanced out, because it really comes down to two people where each one is great, but what they do together is better than what either one could do. I tend to maybe be a little broader in what I like to do. I mean, the creative end for me is really ultimately what I want to do, but very much the business side is very important, because anytime you're working, you deserve to be paid, and paid well. So I'm not ashamed to be business savvy, although perhaps we have different styles of accomplishing the same end. Business is only important in the sense that if there's money coming in, it should be in your pocket instead of somebody screwing you. And the whole idea that, you know, rock and roll people should be stupid means that when it's over, they wake up and wonder where all their money is, and there's somebody else laughing in a high-rise building. So if that's rock and roll, I don't want any part of it. He's like family to me. He's like a brother. And I think we would both acknowledge that often we'd rather spend time with someone else other than the other. But we very much respect and trust and give a lot of credence to what the other has to say. So it's a great relationship, especially because we know when to draw the line. So that, you know, sometimes people say, well, how have you kept it going for, I think, 30 years? And it's really because we know when it's enough, and we know when to back off each other. And we also know how to get each other pretty pissed off, you know, when we want to.
All of us want to be loved, and I especially want every woman in the world to lick my boot heels, and that's the reason I do anything.
How far along are you? I mean,
Right
as
up
far
to...
as you're working, yeah, they look pretty good, as a matter of
They
fact.
are clean cut.
Yeah, very good.
Lick dry.
Well, can we say what the relationship is with you and Jean?
Absolutely. Okay. But just don't call me a wife, because Jean will have a hissy fit.
Marriage is, it's really not going to happen at any time while there's a single breath left in you.
We've been living in sin for 15 years. We have 2 sinful children, Nicholas and Sophie.
What's the greatest accomplishment? KISS, the Simmons record, or all the women you've dated?
The women.
Women, you don't have to think about it at all.
No, it's always been the women. It always will be the women. Right before I die, the very last breath out of my mouth is going to be, Carlos, and then boom, out. I think it's the first reason musicians put guitars around their necks, and it's, no matter how even politically oriented you are, you could be, you know, people are starving in Ethiopia. At the end of the night, he wants to go back to the hotel and have a beautiful girl there.
To me, the sex happens by being on stage and performing, and they're going, I want you, you know, and they're getting into that. And obviously, it doesn't have to come to my room, and I won't let that happen, but I'm just saying, I think the fantasy of all that is very safe sex, and it's pretty, I mean, for me, it's very satisfying for my ego, and I hope they dig it if they catch a pic or they see that I acknowledge them being there. But I think if we only had guys out there, we'd be pretty bummed out.
We're having a great time, and obviously there's a lot of people who wish they could live this kind of lifestyle. And, you know, somebody's gig might be selling insurance. It's not my gig. My gig is getting myself off and getting a lot of people off and having fun in hotels and sweating a lot and doing whatever comes naturally.
So you guys still continuing your womanizing ways?
No, we've become vegetarians and asexual. We now read a lot of books and don't think sexual thoughts whatsoever.
So good, that's good.
Yeah,
But
we look at the sea a lot.
I guess we continue to have things to write about because we continue to live. You know, hopefully every day.
And that's why we have a reason to live.
Everybody's got a reason. write songs based on the kind of lives we lead. Miserable.
I don't believe it for a second.
You know, the biggest problem we ever have is cramps from smiling. I mean,
I don't know.
life is
you
fun.
guys must get home from the road and need to be steam cleaned or something. I mean, according to
Disinfected, at least.
Okay.
Have our minds cleaned, if nothing else.
What are people seeing on this tour?
They're seeing a big stage with lots of lights and
novel.
yeah, you know, we're trying to do something different this tour, and we're playing electric guitars.
No!
Let's see, what can we wear? Spandex, that would be new. Why don't we have long hair?
What do we sing about?
We sing about
Girls
parties and
sex,
girls,
yeah.
something nobody else is doing. And actually, don't go see us. Why see us? It's the same old thing all over again.
There are no fans like ours. Other bands can talk about their fans. They can talk the talk, but we get to walk the walk. We do have the ultimate fans. They're tattooed for life. You know, they're the ultimate. And we can only do everything in our power to make sure we don't let them down.
How long have you been a Kiss fan?
8.5 years.
Why? What's so great about Kiss? 9 years, a long time.
They're great. That's all there is to it.
They're great. Why?
Because they are. They give you more for your money than anybody.
Best singing, best guitarist, man.
Yeah,
They're the
everything.
greatest. They know it, man. Toronto's gonna know it.
Listen, they got class. That's it. They got everything.
Like Gene likes to say, it's a loosely knit Kiss nation. It's worldwide. It's all over the place. And, you know, like, I'm from Buffalo, and you got all the rest of the people from Toronto. We travel all over. I mean, we go to Detroit, New York City, wherever they're at, we're going to go.
Show me what you want, show me what you need, fire below. Come on and take me, shake me, don't let me go. Hey, call it, down below. Down below.
Okay, so once again, I guess Paul's your favorite.
Yeah, Paul is my favorite.
And why is that?
The character that he is, the star child, the lover. It's a sexual fantasy. And that's the easiest costume for me to do too. It's one of the reasons.
I guess you live vicariously through Paul, huh?
Yeah.
Paul Stanley rules.
Yeah.
Paul Stanley's the best, dude. Woo!
I hear you spent a bit of money. How much so far?
$500.
500 on what?
I got the whole set of dolls. I got some posters and a couple of pins. So I'm happy.
Oh, really?
I waited a long time for this. So I worked a couple of months to save up for this.
No, do you actually like Kiss?
Oh yeah, I love the Kisses. I love to listen to that music. I'm crazy about that music.
You mean that?
Well,
No, in a day where so many people are into like bands like Pearl Jam and Nirvana, why are you into Kiss?
Well, because they're original and they started it all, and I like them. They're great.
Look at it this way. Everybody needs a hero. And if you had a choice between somebody who dribbles a ball and throws it through a hoop or this, which would you pick?
I'd pick the hoop, I think.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
I pick me. I'm a big fan.
Rock bottom. Oh, you know you ought to treat me good.
We decided to put on these Kiss conventions for the fans, and they include 16 classic Kiss costumes on mannequins, completely encased in plexiglass, original art, paintings, memorabilia, lyrics, and so
Full
on.
set of Peter Criss's drums from the Kiss Alive tour, vintage instruments, Kiss tribute bands doing the Kiss, 70s type show. And then last but not least, we go. And we show up and we do, basically we'll answer any questions, good, bad, stupid, positive, negative. We're there to basically get close to the fans.
Yeah, you never treat me like you should.
you like so much about Kiss? I mean, you're obviously a huge fan. You got tattoos of them all over your arms.
They grab you. Their music grabs you.
You find them a little outdated?
No,
never.
They keep up to date.
No,
they keep
good
up
music,
to date.
Good music's never outdated.
That's right. Never dies.
Kiss is it beats anything coming out today, as far as I'm concerned.
Does anybody that you guys know think it's uncool to like Kiss? Do you ever get hassles and flack for
Almost
it?
everyone.
Sure.
Almost everyone. I tell them to kiss my ass.
Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? I mean, like, do you really love me?
I, David, take you, Karen, to be my wife.
I had asked if Paul Stanley would be my best man and if Gene Simmons would give away my bride-to-be, and they both agreed to it. So we're getting married today.
Is it possible for this great audience to stand out of respect for the bride and groom?
She's a bad habit, bad habit, bad habit.
It's always fun doing those conventions because, you know, the kids are so appreciative. And all, you know, all this old merchandising that I had forgotten about that I was involved with years ago is, you know, comes to life.
How bad is your obsession? Can you call it an obsession?
Sure, yeah. Kissaholic.
Oh, yeah? Well, how bad can it get?
Pretty bad. Pretty bad. That's why I started becoming a vendor. I was spending so much money, I said I got to get a way to recoup some of the money I'm spending on my collection, so I started selling stuff.
How long have you been a collector?
This is about 10 years old.
Really? So
yeah.
how big is your collection then?
Dollar-wise?
Sure.
Over $11,000 worth.
Even when I was young, I mean, I had icons and I had, you know, like Jimi Hendrix I looked up to, but never to the extent that some of the fans idolize me. And I still don't understand it completely, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because we're, you know, not only did we play music, but we were such a visually there was such an impact there that, you know, we were embedded in people's minds.
I think the passionate fans, or these really obsessed that have to have everything and know everything, it's just in their blood or something, or it's the direction they went. It's either Star Trek or Kiss, I guess, you know, one or the other.
Never got a chance to see Kiss with makeup. This is probably the closest thing you'll ever get. And for those of you who did see Kiss with makeup, you know, it's a chance to relive all those experiences.
Were you originally Kiss fans who became musicians, or were you musicians who became Kiss fans?
No, we were Kiss fans first.
We like to call them tribute bands. These bands that put on makeup and really do sort of Kiss songs the way they heard it, the way they remember it, usually on the live records. It's flattering, you know, it touches your heart, and we realize that there's a lot of work that goes into it. But a little cooler for us is this idea of bands who have their own career, that have their own agenda. Gee, I don't know, we're sounding too smart here. We better just...
Anyway, we feel that we put on as close to the real thing as possible, like the show itself, all the costumes and all the instruments are the same, the whole stage set, you know. The songs that we do range from the Alive to the Alive 2 tour. And, you know, we try to do everything the way they did it. You know, we don't want to do anything different because, you know, Kiss fans and fans in general are really picky. They know what's right and what's wrong.
Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits, our 22nd LP, some old songs, some new songs. The new song, there's a wonderful religious ballad called You Put the X in Sex.
I got a letter just the other day. She said the
favorite thing about hanging around for 15 years and 23 albums is the sweet taste of revenge of that first guy who said this band wouldn't last a record. That guy's probably cleaning garbage pails now. The guy with the most toys wins. You Make Me Rock Hard is another song, which is a new song. Both, incidentally, produced by Paul Stanley, his first production, which is very good. And also a new version of Beth with Eric Carr singing lead on it.
Now that's interesting.
Yes.
How does that work?
We're Kiss. We can do whatever we want.
I saw that review today. Some of those people don't think this is going to last. I think it's a joke.
Yeah, well, I can't always listen to these guys. Main point is as long as we know what we're doing, right, guys?
Yeah. You know, we could take the makeup off. I'll bet you we could take the makeup off and it wouldn't make any difference.
You're crazy. What do you mean, take the makeup off? You're nuts.
Gene, we could take off the makeup. I mean, basically, when we started as a band. We started to play rock and roll, and that's what we could do. That's how we started, and we can keep doing that anytime we want. We could go back and play clubs.
Without the makeup? I think you're nuts.
Gene, there's nothing we can't do.
You're nuts.
There's nothing we can't do.
Still say you're nuts.
Basically, what we wanted to do with Rise to It was we wanted to give fans a chance to see what it was like during the 70s when we would be in the dressing room when we were first starting out, and we were thinking, can the critics kill us off? Can we go ahead? Can we take the makeup off at some point? We would have these kind of discussions in these little dressing rooms. I think what we wanted fans to realize is that Kiss today is the same as Kiss yesterday, and it's always been a continuation. Nothing really changes, and the reason we can do what we want today is because the makeup was important, but it was only a side of what we were doing. You know, you can have a great-looking car, you can have a Ferrari, but if the engine ain't in place, you ain't gonna win the race. And so far, we've been winning a couple of races. So we got the chrome, we got the paint, we got the engine. I'm telling you, no matter what changes, it's still gonna be Kiss.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're on, guys.
I hate the word power ballad because usually it's like some kind of mush. It's a rock and roll song that's played real slow. And it's a cop-out. You're either gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. So put away the Marshall amplifiers and put your heart and soul and your whatever else you can put into an acoustic guitar and just get down and do it right. And that's what it's about.
I liked him. He was a really nice guy. He also was at my house many times, and he would call me up now and then, and he'd be sort of depressed and give me his troubles on the phone or something. And so now when we do our show, we dedicate a couple of songs to him.
We had a choice. Do you carry on or do you, stop? And we all loved Eric very much, and it was devastating for all of us. I never had a friend pass away, no less a band member, and he was truly, we were a family. But, I know that we have to celebrate kind of life and not stop everything. And this what it is to be in a band like Kiss and play music it's like a gift by God that I want to continue doing, and I know everybody else, we want to carry on. The record's dedicated to Eric. He's there on one track, a solo that he played that we had, an instrumental track that he wrote. We just have to carry on, and we always will miss him, and there isn't a day I don't, not think about him. But I know he's got to be thinking that, hey, the band should be rocking. That's what we all love doing.
I don't think I've been in any band more than a couple of years, and you know, Eric was in the band for 11 years, and Bruce was with him for 8 of those years, so it's weird. You know, it must be weird to them all of a sudden. You know, they're just used to a certain kind of like vibe and interaction between each other, and all of a sudden that one person isn't there anymore, and it's somebody new. I can still remember playing this day, like being down or leaning on the stage, watching Kiss in concert, and I got Ace Frehley's pick, and you know, it's really weird. Now all of a sudden I'm playing with like Gene and Paul, and it's like weird.
Revenge is a good title for where we're at right now, you know, because it's really our revenge that we can still do something that's valid and meaningful to us and our fans and survive, you know, after all those years. Many bands have 3 or 4 good years and see it.
The band's always maintained you know, a certain level of success, and it's like they're still around, and so that's kind of what it's more of an attitude more than anything. It's not anything aimed at anyone particularly.
Revenge is sweet.
The music and the image seems to be a little more pared down, more aggressive. Why did you decide to go this route?
We wanted to commit ourselves to making a really tough rock record, you know, that guitar record, too. That's what Kiss is about. Loud guitars, big amp.
He's right.
You know, yeah. And Gene came through with some tough stuff. First song was Unholy. Thank you. You like that?
Yeah,
that's great. So this record, it's not so much like a master plan, but we knew it felt right, you know, where we were headed in 1992.
I am the incubus, I lay the egg in you, the worm that burrows through your brain.
The band had to live through, you know, this other sort of incarnation that it had. Poppier songs. You know, we kept having hits, selling millions of records, so it's tough to think that there's trouble in paradise when they keep handing you platinum records. Somewhere deep down inside, though, you know, you start to hear the faint voicings of fans who really just live for the band, who keep saying, hey man, why don't you do that B-side song on the first album or some obscure song? And you keep hearing it over and over again. And then you start to make the connection. Well, that was truer of what the band was.
You send your children to war to serve bastards and whores.
And boy, do you look mean in the video, if I may say so.
I thought I looked the nicest I'd looked in a long time. I know a lot of girls
But I like it.
were holding their knees together very tightly when they were watching this. For exercise,
Right.
to strengthen those thigh muscles and calisthenics.
And then they have to go to church. You have to watch in your church that song.
Because, I mean, see?
I think it's great that we can play convincing hard rock, meaning it without bombs and lasers and a big show. It's just us with amps and our fans. And that's what it's really all about. You add all the other stuff on, and that's a spectacle, but we have this, like, kind of thing that happens. It's like a train that just keeps plowing through.
I don't have a problem talking about, you know, the old days and wearing the makeup. You know, I think one day we'll put it on again.
No. Really?
One day, yeah. I have a feeling it's going to happen. You know, I can't say for sure, but I have a gut feeling it'll happen. There's too much money to be made.
Members of the international press and members of the KISS Army. Everything you've heard about the Kiss years and the Kiss stage shows and the spectacle is true. It's not a legend. We're going to show every new band how the big boys do it. The truth is, we're four individuals who love what we do and are thrilled to be doing this together again. But the truth is, in the past, we've had our differences, so fucking what? The magic is back.
Anyone who never saw Kiss years ago will finally get a chance to see Kiss live now. The ones who missed the first time around, and you won't be disappointed.
Absolutely.
You wanted the best?
Wanted the best. You wanted the best, you got the best.
The hottest band in the world.
Kiss!
No, you're supposed to be
Ace.
And you're supposed to be
Jane.
What are your real names?
Becky. Eric.
And why did you choose this makeup here? Why not?
Ace is God. Ace is God. That's just it. He's God.
He is God.
And Jane is God. We'll go with that.
How's the makeup doing?
Makeup's a little hot out here. You're dripping a little.
It looked great when I first did it. I was in an air-conditioned house. Got out here outside, man. I'm sweating my ass off.
Did you make this yourself?
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be Ace Frehley.
Yep.
Where's your guitar?
Oh, it's at home.
At home? You didn't bring it tonight?
No, too heavy.
How's it going?
All right, Detroit! You wanted the best! You got the best! The hottest band in the world! Kiss!
Is there something missing in rock and roll today?
Well, obviously something is missing in rock and roll because on the last tour, after being gone for 17 years, we played to almost 3 million people, so that says a whole lot. I think people are tired of crybabies. I think people are tired of making millionaires out of people who don't appreciate the fact that they're famous. You know, it's so hard to see somebody say it's terrible being famous and rich, because if they were smart, they never would have tried so hard to become rich and famous. Best thing you can do for those people, stop buying their CDs, buy ours. We thank you for your money, and we work hard for it. Psycho Circus album is the first album that we've done in 17 years, and it's on the heels of the reunion tour, which was the biggest grossing tour of 96-97. And it's a magical album with the magical lineup, and the cover is like nothing anyone's ever seen, and the music is like anything anyone's ever heard.
We've all grown over the past 17 years, and now that we got into the studio and had a chance to work together again, it's just been fantastic, and I think the album speaks for itself.
We went out on that reunion tour, and a lot of people were saying, you know, our past cast such a big shadow. How are we going to be able to top that? We topped it on the reunion tour. Psycho Circus is the music that's going to top things with the Psycho Circus tour. You ain't seen nothing yet. It goes up from here.
Get up and get your grandma out of here.
You can tell when people want to be on stage with each other. And we're having the time of our lives.
Or be in bed with each other, for that matter.
Yeah, see the way we shake our heads like that?
Why
Why is doing a film like this such a logical extension of the world of Kiss?
Well, because we break rules, you know, and the idea really with Kiss is that we won't be confined by the limitations that other bands have to live by. Mostly they have to live by them because they don't have anything to offer outside of a very small sphere of music. So for a band like us, the idea of doing a film, especially Detroit Rock City, which is kind of like four young people's odyssey on the way to meeting the Wizard of Oz, in this case it's Kiss, is very much like the story of Kiss, who were four young people who went through all kinds of obstacles to attain what they wanted.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. The boys are back. The boys are back. The boys are back in town. Woo! I felt tight on Saturday night.
So you are fans, and you will be on the same screen as your heroes forever.
Right.
Represented in film. Now, how does that make you feel?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I started playing because of the band, so just to help them out and be involved with this is a great thing.
Beatles fans didn't get to do this. Elvis fans didn't get to do this. We do. We get it. We got the chance.
That's a soundbite. You hear that soundbite?
Get up, everybody's gonna leave their seats.
Our victories are always victories of our fans. You know, when we win, the fans win. If we celebrate 25 years of doing what we want and selling 70 million albums, it's really a victory of the people who made it possible. We couldn't have done it without them. So this film is really a vindication for them as well. I mean, we are like a virus that just keeps coming back and permeating things. All of a sudden, the heads of record studios and film studios are Kiss fans, and we're taking over big time. We will not go away.
Panties from a fan. She just took them off.